Alright, so this was day 4, December 26th, 2019, and I was supposed to move from Karnavati Resort at Panna National Park all the way to Shadhdol, a hotel called Sridev Hotel in Shadhdol, and both of them are in Madhya Pradesh. There are two major routes. The route that was supposed to take is through Katni, was supposed to be one of the most horrible roads, and I have a habit of asking questions to the local people. So I took another route which went through Nagaur and other places, but I also got the additional bonus of visiting a beautiful scenic spot called BanSagar, and it's a dam. And I tell you what, it was a good decision that I went to BanSagar Dam because it was beautiful. I had my lunch there, spent some time, clicked some photographs, did some bird watching, and well, after just about 1 hour, I was ready to rest of the journey. So what you're going to see now is what my journey looked like on those rather difficult roads on the 4th day, which was December 26th. Though I'd started a little early from the Karnavati Resort, but I had forgotten to switch on my DashCam. It was basically unplugged. But initially I had some good roads, and to tell you very honestly, that feeling of good road did not last very long. And sooner that I could think of, I went through pretty horrible roads, and every once in a while I'll get onto a partially built road. So I don't know how the government over here has worked. They've created some stretches of fantastic roads, like right now I'm on a fantastic road, but that would be just for a few kilometers, and suddenly there would have to be some kind of a diversion, and that diversion itself would be a kilometer long or maybe even more. And these are the kind of roads that it would transform into. So, every once in a while we used to come across roads which were very suspect in the kind of turnings it would have. So now, for example, I'm going from this side and there's another guy who just kind of cut across me, coming at a very high speed from the other side. So I had to be very watchful. Now, I'm actually going from Panna to the BanSagar Dam, and I'm going through a particular toll booth. It's supposed to be switched on, but there was no tolls. Then now I'm proceeding towards the BanSagar Dam. I always pronounce it wrong. It's BanSagar, not BanSagar, that I've been pronouncing. And the roads were kind of okay. Now you can see that I'm actually going through a very small hill area. And the trucks over there were loaded with goods, and some of them would move very slowly, and overtaking them was getting to be quite dangerous. But we managed, that's how it is. The roads were kind of okay, and at places, especially during turns, they were horribly bad. And then finally I reached the entrance of the BanSagar Dam, and there was a permission that I had to take. I paid some money, which was 150 rupees for the vehicle and about 15 rupees just for myself. And then I, drove all the way up. It's on a bit of a hillock, and I spent some time there and had a good time, took some photographs. About an hour later, I kind of, started to go back, and basically I was actually taking the road from BanSagar all the way to Shadhdol. Now, what people told me at BanSagar, that the road to Shadhdol is even worse than the road that I have come so far. So I get started on this road, and immediately I got onto a very badly made bridge, an extremely long bridge, nearly 1.5 to 2 kilometers long. I actually didn't measure it, but it was definitely above 1.5 kilometers, and it had one of the worst kind of road layering on it, and we would pitch up and down, and it was pretty bad. But anyway, we kept on going because I was already expecting a really pathetic road, and it just got worse from there. The road's quality became worse and worse as I went along towards Shadhdol. As you can see right now, I'm actually swerving my cars to avoid some of the really bad potholes. And now I'm on a slightly less bad road, which is basically a forest road. But the beauty of Madhya Pradesh is that you don't find too many people around. It's quite sparsely populated. So after a very long time, you'll find a truck or somebody else or something, and the roads are pretty. The surroundings of the roads are pretty beautiful and very interesting, filled with forests, greenery, beautiful sights. Unfortunately, it was the road which was literally rattling my car. It was almost as if that I was doing some kind of a stress drive test for Tata, because I drive Tata Nexon. And surprisingly, I found, despite the road quality, and now this is not an ad or anything for Tata, I was actually very happy driving Tata Nexon, because it was taking the bumps with a certain amount of smoothness, which I find in much higher category of cars that I've used in the past. And I used to drive a Land Rover in Nigeria, and I actually found that this car is just about as good in taking bumps. There were small stretches that I would actually find some good roads, but all that would vanish in just a jiffy. So the moment you felt happy, oh, now finally I'm on a good road, no, it'll just transform itself into a pretty horrible road. So as we started nearing Shadhdol, and when I say we, it's I and my car. It was a solo drive with my vehicle. As we started nearing Shadhdol, you see, before a small town, there are small areas of sparsely populated that starts kind of cropping up, and you begin to get a feel that you're getting closer to the city or the small town. And this sparsely populated area transformed itself into a little more populated areas until a time that I actually officially entered the small town called Shadhdol. Now, Shadhdol is very important for me because I spent my childhood here. I was born just 25 kilometers away from Shadhdol, and that was the reason why in my trip I actually included Shadhdol. There's a childhood friend over there in Shadhdol, and I was supposed to meet him this evening, and I actually finally met him. And the next day we were going to dedicate it entirely for 25 kilometers away, a small industrial town called Amlai, where we would actually make a documentary about our childhood, exploits. But right now, I was facing some problem with my gears. The gears were not clicking in place very nicely. And that's the hotel that you see, the Hotel Tridev. I finally arrived here. It's on the bypass road, very nicely located. And as I wanted to park my vehicle, the watchman told me that I'm parking it wrong because there are 3 vehicles that could fit in right here. So I had to reverse, and I realized my reverse gear is just not working. It's not engaging. And I knew I was in a little bit of trouble. And I had to then get busy talking about getting people to rectify this. This is still under warranty, so it was a longish process, but that's a separate story. And this is how ended my 4th day, which was December 26th, from Karnavati Retreat, Panna, to Tridev Hotel in Shadhdol. Going over one of the worst roads, but little did I know that when I would actually take my journey from Shadhdol to Bilaspur, the roads would be even worse. But then that's a different story.